Hello, I'm Beth Joey and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, welcome. This is the channel where I paint my face, turn my camera on and talk about some books. This is the next installment in my On the Hook to Read the Book series, which if you are new here basically means this is my series where I hold myself accountable to the things I set for myself in TBRs or the books that I set for myself in TBRs. And then I update you guys in these very short little videos to let you know whether or not I actually read these books, my rating on them, and then any top line thoughts, I guess, if anything strikes me. So for this video, it's focusing on my winter TBR, which I set for myself, I think, right at the end of 2022. This was, I think, my final sort of TBR for 2022 going into the end of the year and into the new year for 2023. I set myself 5 books that I wanted to read in winter that gave me kind of wintry vibes. You're going to see another video of that sort coming very soon with my spring TBR, where I isolate the books I want to read in spring. But for now, let's just run through the books that I set myself, if I still own them, what I rated them, and any top line thoughts that I have about them. First up, we've got Window Shopping by Tessa Bailey, which if you can't already tell, I'm not holding anything up, which means I have since unhauled this book because it was the very last chance for Tessa Bailey for me, and she unfortunately did not impress me with the book. That makes me sound super haughty. Me and Tessa Bailey, we just don't connect, we don't vibe. I don't love the romances that she sets, so unfortunately this was the one book where I was like, I'm gonna give this one last go. Didn't enjoy it, and so I've unhauled this book and also decided I don't want to read any more Tessa Bailey unless anything gets really hyped up and I get really into the backstory for it, because I just don't enjoy her romances that she constructs, and I think it's unfair if I continue to read from an author knowing that I don't like their style. So as for this particular book, I gave it 2 stars. Next up, we have Inner Holidays by Christina Lauren. Again, another book that I no longer own. I think I actually sold a bundle on Vinted of this book, the previous book, Window Shopping, and the next book, which you'll find out in a second. But as for this book, I gave this one 2.5 stars, so slightly better than Window Shopping for me, but it was super disappointing because I love Christina Lauren. I love that author duo. I've loved everything that I've read from them. By everything, I mean 2 books, The Unhoneymooners and one other that's about DNA that I can't remember the name of now, but I promise you I loved it. But this one just wasn't really everything it cracked up to be. It was supposed to be sort of a Groundhog Day kind of romance, but I don't think it jumped fully into the whole Groundhog Day side of things, and I didn't think the whole romance was all that believable. Plus it ended up being this story about saving the family cabin, and I just wasn't really interested in that. Then we have The Holiday Swap by Maggie Knox, the final sort of Christmas romance on this list, another book that I also do not own anymore. I gave this one 2.5 stars as well. I think for this one, my main issue with it was just really on the surface level characters. I wasn't really all that hyped into the romance. I didn't feel the tension or the angst or anything, and those are major things that I expect when I read a romance. I love the tension and the angst and the big third act conflict and the drama and everything, and this book just didn't deliver on that for me, so I did not love it, and I only gave it 2.5 stars. Next up, I picked up The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. As you can see, I still own this book, which is always a good sign, except that it's not, because I DNF'd this book like 50 something pages in because I really just struggled with the writing and the fact that there was nothing really happening in the plot. It was very lyrical and beautiful, but I didn't think there was anything pushing the story forward. And I think there's like multi POVs, but then it doesn't always isolate whose POV you're in, so you spend the first little section of each change of POV just trying to figure out whose perspective you're reading from, and I found it very confusing. So I did DNF this book. I'm hoping to come back to it one day when I'm a bit more in the mood for something light and fairy. And lastly, we've got Year of the Reaper by Micaiah Lucier. This is the beautiful, I think, Fairy Loot edition of this story, so love the cover there. Equally beautiful on the back, fabulous foiling on the hardcover, art on the inside, absolute depth of darkness sprayed edges there. I love the black, and it was signed by the author as well. So this book I really enjoyed. I gave this 4 stars. It is a fantasy standalone, though I really wish there was a sequel. I came out of this book wanting more. I liked the characters and all the time I got to spend with them. I thought the whole plot and the storyline was very immersive, and I just generally loved this story. So 4 stars for this one, and I'm glad I read all of the books on this TBR, even if I only loved one of them. So that is my On the Hook to Read the Book update for my winter TBR. Keep your eyes peeled for my spring TBR, which will be coming very soon at the beginning of March, where I want to run through all the things that I'm looking forward to reading in spring. Hopefully a few more romances in there, some nice, fun, flowery, just really beautiful, easy reads. That's what I like to read in spring, and definitely heavy on the romance side as well. But aside from that, let me know in the comments down below if you've read any of these books, loved them, hated them, or if not, just let me know what you're reading at the moment. Loving liking it, hating it. I love talking to you guys and I do my best to reply to every single comment. I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please do let me know by liking, subscribing and hitting that notification bell all down below. It is a super easy way to help my channel grow, and I will see you lovely people in my next video. Bye!